consider Geico. They've been doing it for 75 years. They know what they're doing. Geico.com. By the way, here was the game winner. Sound up. LeBron beating Toronto in Cleveland again.
It's going to be James.
Here it is. It's under
3 seconds to go. Throws up the floater. Oh, good night, Cleveland. That is for you.
Now that was some play.
A man who was a member of the 2016 Cavs that won a championship, Dahntay Jones, is joining us here in the herd today. That was an amazing shot. It was goofy. It was a running one-hander to the other side, and that's what LeBron likes to go to his left, by the way. When you were playing at practice against LeBron James, Dahntay, hasn't the rule always been make him go right?
Yeah, but it's harder. It's easier said than done, right? Making him go right. Like he's a bull. He's faster than everybody else. He's stronger than everybody else.
So
he decides where he wants to go.
Is his first step great?
Yes, his first step is great, and he's super strong. So he's seeing more than you, but he does like to go left, and you should have made him go right.
Yeah, I mean, I always, whenever I watch LeBron, I'm like, everybody favors a side.
Right.
Like
everybody has a tendency.
Was there ever an NBA player you covered that didn't have a tendency?
No.
What about Kobe?
Kobe has tendencies.
He does?
Yeah.
What's that, to shoot?
he drives more on his right hand, and he pulls up more on his left hand. Just the tendency of a right-handed guy. But LeBron is different because he does, I think, most things left-handed, and he shoots right.
Yeah. It's funny when I watch LeBron with this group listen, Boston and Cleveland are going to end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. And by the way, if LeBron stays in Cleveland, it's probably going to happen again. Golden State is not getting bad anytime soon. I mean, they're flipping switches here in the playoffs. Apathy could be their biggest. Houston appears to be a heck of a team. I look at this stuff, and I said this earlier. Listen, man, in my life, I love routine. I like habits. In my sports, I like chaos. Like, as a former LeBron teammate, what would you like to see him do after the season? What would make you more energized? What would make you happy? Because you like LeBron. You're friends with LeBron.
Right.
You're in his circle.
I would like him to be happy. I would like him to be able to continue to win and to continue to put on shows like this because it's great for basketball. I would like him to be in a situation where he can always contend for a championship and not have to worry about the organization or what they may pay or what they may not, the roster or how they're going to fill out the roster. I would like him to be in an organization with a direction.
Lakers have a direction.
I think they do. I think there are a couple of teams that have a direction, but it's ultimately what's best for him and his family, number one, and what he views as the second part of his career. So I understand that the logic that goes with the whole Lakers conversation because they do have a direction. They do have a figurehead who's saying that we're going to win. We're going to do whatever it takes to win. They have young talent. They have the pieces to be able to be successful in the future and to not have to rely on him solely to carry the weight on a nightly basis.
Yeah. When we were talking tonight, LeBron's going to finish off the Raptors, and I think Philadelphia will win tonight, but Boston's going to win the series. Chris Broussard and I go back and forth on this. There is this sense, I think most people think, Philadelphia needs to get another good player. I mean, Ben's not a scorer necessarily from the perimeter. Embiid has a history injury. If you're going to beat Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Philadelphia probably needs another scorer, right?
They need experience, number one, but they do need a kind of a go-to guy who can get you a bucket in the fourth quarter and more of a wing player that can make those things happen.
That's what I think.
Because wings can do different things than bigs can. You can double bigs. Bigs tend to wear down at the end of games. So they need a wing scorer that they can go to in the fourth quarter, yes.
But here's my takeaway. Boston's not done.
No.
I mean, I really think.
And that could be good or bad, though.
Well, I think they're going to go after Kawhi Leonard. Greg Popovich said last week, or the story came out, I'm not trading Kawhi to the West. I'm not going to send Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers. There's no way I'm going to do that. So I think they either pay a supermax to Kawhi or they move him out east. I think Boston.
But how hard is that going to be to move him out east? Because an Eastern team is going to have to give up assets.
Okay, Kyrie,
for a one-year
Irving,
rental.
Gordon Hayward, I get Kawhi.
And they've Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. Do you want to take on Do they want that perception for their franchise every time their superstars get hurt that we just ship them out something better? See, that's what we have to understand. How much do they value Kyrie? I don't think that's
let me ask you. Pre-LeBron, post-LeBron, what's Kyrie? Fair question.
He's been hurt.
Exactly. It's not like he's going to get less hurt in his last 8 years.
I understand that.
If you told me I'm Danny Ainge today.
But then you got to worry about what you do to your young guys who we don't know what they are, and they're operating at a high level. Jaylen Brown, and
I think he's pretty good.
Like what do we do if we add Kawhi to that equation? We push him down to the 4. Jason Tatum. Like, what do we do to him if we add Kawhi to the situation? We take away from his growth. It's not a yes or it's not like an easy thing to say, oh yeah, just go after Kawhi. Like, you have to think about the what is going to happen to those guys who are growing at an exponential rate.
I don't know. I just think this idea that Boston's done. Like, okay, we got our guys, and I'm like, Kyrie Irving's been hurt multiple times, got hurt again. I think Danny Ainge is looking at it thinking, oh, I'd make an offer for Kawhi Leonard. Who in the East, if Popovich is only going to move Kawhi east, and Popovich and Kawhi's camp at some point, like, doesn't embrace Popovich, who's got the pieces? It's not Indiana. It's not Pat Riley. It's not Cleveland. Philadelphia's not giving them Embiid and Simmons. You can give me Kyrie, Gordon Hayward? 2 minutes, I'd do it.
You take it?
Oh, God. Kawhi Leonard?
As Pop, you take it. I'm just asking.
God. First of all, I mean, listen, if I don't get Kawhi, if Kawhi's like, I think they burn a bridge here.
But then you got to worry about if you give up assets.
Okay.
You give up assets, and then he does not come back. Because they're probably going to ask for some type of a pick in this situation. So you give up one of your assets, and he doesn't come back next year. He just says, oh, you know, this Paul George effect. If Paul George doesn't go back to OKC. Like, if he says, you know what, it wasn't for me, then you gave up all this for you're just stuck now. You're looking like, oh, I gave up all this scoring and all this promise for the future, and he may not want to be in Boston. Now, everybody doesn't love Boston. He's a West Coast kid. He may not want to be on the East Coast, living through winters and all that stuff. Like, it's a life decision also.
That's why you just said something, and Joey, I laugh about this. I lived in cold weather, and I grew up in Seattle where it's wet. The NBA is a winter league. Like, I think this is totally overlooked. If you go to the last 10 years, Dahntay, the Eastern Seaboard teams, Washington, Philly, Boston, Brooklyn, New York, tell me the elite players that are picking the Eastern Seaboard. Right. They're not.
So that's why we say the West is better, but the East has different factors they have to work through. Even playing on the Eastern Conference team, your mood is different when the weather's different. Your way you approach working, the way you approach, like, everything in life is just different when you're in LA versus a Brooklyn winter.
Oh, there's no question.
So
I like
it changes the dynamic.
I think it completely changes the dynamic. Are you on Speak for Yourself today?
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Dahntay Jones. All right, first 2 hours down. Jason McIntyre, who has apparently some outrageous argument today, is going to stop by our show coming up. Car won't start. Advance Auto Parts, free battery starter, alternator testing, free battery installation with purchase. See store for details. Service available in most states. Coming up next, I'll double down on Ben Simmons. I know you're knocking him. Never forget LeBron year 8 against Dallas. And why do we coddle Westbrook in year 10? I'm doubling on Ben Simmons.
No one knows where it comes from.